How you doing, YouTube? Matt with Massive Beer Reviews, back with yet another review. A little bit of American IPA, hopeful goodness, in the form of Treehouse Brewing's. It's their In Perpetuity. Yeah, I've never had this before. This is actually one of the few of what I like to call their whimsical can series. They have In Perpetuity. They have a couple other beers that kind of have these kind of like more scenic, kind of outside, kind of campfire-y kind of vibe to them. I've had a couple, not this one, but I've had a couple of those series, but they've always been in the middle of beer shares, so I never actually got to actually have one kind of sit in. They just sit in kind of an individual kind of way. So super excited to give it a whirl. This comes courtesy of Joel. Thank you very much, Joel. You've seen Joel before. He did a couple of reviews with me about a month or so ago, and he dropped these off, and here we go. As far as what it says again, In Perpetuity, American IPA, 6.7% alcohol by volume. And on the back here we have, or in the back, the bottom, we have Hold On To Sunshine, and it was canned 9/8/7, 17. It's not 7, not that old. Jesus Christ, 10 years. Today is 9/12/17, so it should be fresh. And label-wise, it's fucking killer. I always like Treehouse labels in general, but this kind of, like, I like to call it their whimsical series. I don't even know what it's called. I don't even know if they have a series for it. Dean, if you're out there, let me know, or just shit on me for calling it that. I don't know. Anyway, let's drink this sucker, see what she's got. I'm in the mood for a good beer. I'm always in the mood for a good beer. That's the dumbest shit I've ever said in my life. But right now, just rough week, busy as hell, and this should do me proper, hopefully. Treehouse beer has never really not done me proper, so going into it a little preconceived notions, but that shit happens. That is fucking pillowy creaminess on top there. I mean, it's gravity defying. You can't see it on camera. It's just off weight and head, south of khaki. Pretty uniform, tight, compact bubbles, and you know, he's got that haze, son. You know, just subtle haziness throughout the whole thing. Just, you know, butternut squash soup had a baby with grapefruit juice. How many times have I said that? A lot. Do I care? No, I do not. Let's see if we can get a nose on her. Ooh, that's one. Turn this fan down a little bit. A little too high. Need to get a little better nose on it. Gotta whisper to it. Gotta rub it. Blow on it. This is orange citrus juiciness with a little bit of grapefruit and like a little bit of like maybe like a cantaloupe kind of vibe going on there, but it's definitely all leaning in the kind of citrus realm. The orange citrus, a little bit of that kind of grapefruit. Not candy, not overly sweet. Actual juice when it comes to that moniker when it comes to beer. There's a subtle bitterness throughout. Nothing too crazy, nothing too kind of pull this specific kind of bittering out of it. More just a washed kind of dry bitterness. A lot of these like really nicely well-made kind of New England IPAs tend to have. She smells pretty. She smells soft and pretty and gentle. She smells like you're looking over a scenic moonrise with a Sasquatch or a long-haired man or woman. Hey, you find love in all different places. So, but yeah, all joking aside, it just smells absolutely soft, delicious, yet feels like it's going to be decently impeccable. Pretty. That's the word. Pretty. She's so pretty. Let's see if she tastes pretty. Cheers. Okay. Way more bitter than I thought it was going to be based off the nose. It's not super bitter, but where that kind of had a little bit of bittering, but definitely kind of below that citrus nose, it kind of flips the script there. You're getting more, it's still like kind of like a subtle, generic kind of greeny kind of bittering, but it's much bigger than that kind of soft kind of fruitiness. It's more rindy, more kind of mango kind of rindy to it, that bitterness. And then you have that citrus, which is a little bit more acidic and not as sweet as I thought it would be, even though I didn't think it was going to be all that sweet to begin with underneath. Super beautiful mouthfeel. The balance between sweetness and the bitterness is perfect for me. There's just enough sweetness to have that bitterness not get in its own way. And I think that's one of the things that the breweries that do these New England style beers so well. Treehouse is definitely one of the leaders in those bunch. In that bunch, and there's a small bunch. It's not a lot of places. They tend to do that. They tend to bring that beautiful balance between that sweet and that bitter, and it's definitely showcased here. Tasty, delicious, super drinkable. What was it again? 6 and change. 6.7. It's drinking like a 4% beer. Just something that I would have no problem. I could session this beer. That's how easy drinking it is. But at the same time, it has enough kind of personality to set itself apart from a lot of other beers. A lot of myself and I believe a lot of us beer tube people tend to use the same kind of monikers over and over again. I don't think it's necessarily like a lack of vocabulary or anything like that. I think it's more just there's nth degrees, there's soft, gentle degrees that while we try to describe them, they're very hard to come off, and that's why I want to go just below, just above. And that's where this balance comes in. And when you think of balance, you think of 50-50, you think of perfectness. This is more balanced in a way that the beer is presented to let what needs to be shine, but at the same time doesn't let it get out of control. And again, it's pretty much just rehash what I just said, which I think a lot of these breweries, Treehouse included, that do this so well, just have it fucking down pat. So anyway, to recap, nose, citrus juiciness, underlying greeny bitterness, nothing too crazy. Flip the script, gets a little bit more bitter, not as sweet, not as juicy in amount, but it's still there, and just drinks absolutely delicious. Mouthfeel's bomb, and it feels like it's supposed to be inside you. That's how delicious it is. So let's talk about it. Is this one of the better American IPAs I've had as of late? Absolutely, without a doubt. It's in there, if not number one, up there. I mean, I would like the ABV just to be a little bit smaller for what you're getting, but it's just kind of nitpicking at this point. Value and availability. Treehouse's, their allotments have grown. You're still looking at, anywhere around a half, not even a half of a case, maybe a third of a case at most. But their allotments are going up. Their availability, the production is going up ever since they opened their new facility in Charlton. So you can get it. It's still brewery only. Obviously, you have to go there to get it, but it can be had. And just leave you with, I forget how much it costs, though, too. Usually their prices aren't too shabby, though. And in today's market, let's put it that way. And let's just leave it with what? If you like this, if you like what we like this, if you like good beer, if you like well-made beer, balanced, purposely balanced, deftly balanced beers, and just good beer, because that's what they do up there, man. They just make good beer. As much as you want to shit on the whole kind of beer hipster movement and the fucking beer thoughts and all that stuff, they do it, and they do it really well. And I started off this review going, I don't think they're going to do me wrong because I never really had a brewery. Was that the unboxing? Either way, you don't want to go into beers, especially beer reviews, with preconceived notions, but you kind of go into this expecting world class, and that's what I got. So there you go. Another review in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you didn't, anywhere in between, down there, words and stuff. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Untapped, Massive Beers, all four of those places if you want to check me out anywhere else. And hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully enjoying a nice Treehouse beer right now, and hope to see you next time. Cheers.